Today we're talking all about the Insta360 X4. It's a 360-degree camera, so it captures things from all angles and all around. When this came out earlier this year, I was seeing so many different reviews and tutorials and tricks on how to use this camera from different tech channels, camera channels, and as someone that is not a tech or camera channel, I wanted to share my thoughts and my experience so far with using this camera for the last couple months. And in the past, when I've shared different camera reviews and comparisons, you guys have found it really helpful because I am just a regular person. So this is not going to be a spec heavy review. It's really just me sharing my experience so far. Before we dive into this, I do want to mention that Insta360 had sent this camera to me. This is not a sponsored review. This is not a sponsored video. They are not reviewing this or, providing anything for me to mention. I've worked with them in the past and they knew that I was moving to Calgary, Canada, which is where I live now. And there are so many adventures out here that they thought this could be a good tool to add to my toolkit. So I'm very grateful for that, but just know that this is completely my own experience over the last couple months that I wanted to share with you guys. I'll just explain quickly to you what is the Insta360 X4 if you're not familiar. This is Insta360's newest 360-degree action camera, and I already mentioned this captures in 360 view. The way that it does this is because it has two cameras, so you can see that one side has one lens, which is a camera, and the other side has a different lens. Using the power of technology, it stitches both images together, so when you're watching it, it creates a seamless 360 view of your surroundings, which is really cool, to be honest. Like I said, I have used this for a couple months because I really wanted to put this to the test before I share with you guys what I think. Would this make sense for someone who makes vlogs or someone that makes lifestyle content? Who might I recommend this for, etc.? So now that I've used it for a couple months, I can really get into that. Before we do, I do have some clips of the unboxing, which I know you guys have enjoyed seeing some past unboxings before. So I'm gonna leave that here and you can see exactly what came in the box for the Insta360 X4, as well as some of the accessories that you can get with it. We are unboxing the Insta360 X4. There she is. In this box comes the camera, of course. It feels very sturdy. I would say it's still lighter than my point and shoot cameras. That is what the lens looks like. Insta360. Oh, this must be a little case. And then inside the case, this, I believe, goes on the outside of the camera. So this thing is the thermal grip cover, and it basically helps reduce the temperature of the device. This is also what it comes with, a cloth to keep things clean on the lens, and then it also has this USB-C cable. Last things in this box, these are the standard lens protectors. Especially if you're going to do more like rugged activities, the lens could be damaged depending on what you're doing, and this protector basically helps cover that. I really want to turn this on, but I don't know if it's going to be charged. Oh my gosh. Woo! It's asking me to choose a language. Please download the Insta360 app and activate your camera. So I'm going to do this quickly. They've also sent a few other accessories which I've heard a lot of good things about. So the first is this bad boy. This is the extended selfie stick. I have seen clips of people using this before. It's almost like a drone shot type of look. What makes it super cool is the camera will mask the selfie stick. So you're not gonna see some tacky selfie stick in your video. It's just gonna look like the camera's floating. It extends from 36 centimeters to 3 meters, which is the equivalent of 9.8 feet. So practically 10 feet. We are gonna do this when we have some more space. This is another version of the selfie stick, but this is the smaller version. This is the full length of it in the frame. And then last things I got were these lens caps. So this is a protector that just goes over the whole thing like that, which seems very handy as well. All right, it's time to peel the sticky bits off. This is the most satisfying part. Wow. Now we are ready to go. We are not ready to go. It is installing the new firmware, so we will be right back. Generally speaking, this is a camera that I would use more when we're going outdoors or for something that's more action oriented, because you get the full view and it just feels so much more immersive. So in the following clips, you're gonna see some of the different angles that I was able to capture and all of the different shots that I was able to do with this. So cue the clips. So there's two lenses, but if you want, you can just use one. So it's like basically a normal camera. Yeah. We've made it to Mirror Lake. Oh, this is a very long 800 meters. So those are just some of my favorite shots from using this camera. What's really cool about this is that you can do so many different things with it. If you don't want to use both lenses and you don't want 360 video, you can do things like me mode, which is just recording yourself, but you can't see the stick. Or you can just use it like a straightforward action camera where it just records without any type of 360 view and you're just using one of the lenses, which is really cool. Most of the time that I found myself grabbing this was when we were going out and doing more action-oriented things, which is I think what this camera is more tailored towards. But I want to kind of give you an overview of the things that I've noticed and my general thoughts as someone that is just a vlogger, just a lifestyle person, and hopefully this gives you an idea of what I think this might be good for. Right off the bat, I want to mention how easy it was to start using this. If a camera or a tool is a bit too complicated, it has too many steps involved to get things set up properly, that it's not going to be something that I gravitate towards as often. And whenever we were going on hikes, I just wanted to use this because it was easy to grab and I knew that I could get the most variety of different shots versus having to bring a camera that's a bit more fragile or one that I'm a bit more worried about, whereas this is pretty rugged and I don't have any concerns about like dropping it. Not that I want to be dropping it, but even having the lens protector just gives me some peace of mind. Even though it's easy to use, I did watch a bunch of different tutorials and it's really cool how much creativity you can get with this. Even just to get something cool, it's not hard because you're able to capture so much on both sides of the camera that you just can't compare with another type of tool. This is also really compact. I do have this stick as I showed you guys. I would say because of the size, I generally lean towards this one. Compactness is very important for me because again, when you're on the go, if you're vlogging or something like that, you really don't want to have to bring a lot of equipment. I know I haven't gone very in depth on the specs and features for this camera because there are literally hundreds of videos about this camera already that go in depth on those types of things, but one thing that is important to mention is that this captures up to 8K footage, which is very, very impressive. That said, do I use 8K? Not really, because I make videos for YouTube and most of the time I do export in 1080p, which I know I'm trying to actually level up to 4K eventually, but the quality that actually gets compressed onto YouTube, I feel like 1080p or 4K is pretty good. So the chances of someone actually using 8K may not be that high, but the flexibility is there and you can record up to 8K, which is very impressive for a small camera like this. Overall, I would say it still has like a slight look of an action camera because it is an action camera. So it's not gonna give you that background blur like you might see with a camera that has a lens like the one I'm using now. For the type of shots that someone would be capturing with this, I think this is perfect because usually you're looking at wider frames and you want to capture almost everything, especially like a wider view in a lot of details. So for that purpose, I think this has been really, really good. The only thing that I haven't had much experience testing with is in low light settings. I would like to see eventually when I get the chance what that might look like, but to be quite honest, I don't think I would be using it for much low light because most of the things that I'm doing with this, like hiking and stuff, are things that generally are well lit, but that is a consideration if you know that you're going to be doing a lot of low light shots with this type of camera. Another thing I'll say, which I don't know if it's a gripe or not, but this stick is huge and I try to use it, you know, because it has such a cool view to it. If you're looking to get fake drone shots, this is the right stick to use because it's so high and you're gonna get a lot more coverage. But as a smaller person with very mediocre to poor upper body strength, this was a struggle for me to be carrying, so that would be my only thing. This does take photos as well. Personally, when I think of action camera, I don't really think of taking photos, but because it's 360, it's very cool that you're able to capture a 360 photo, and the photos do capture 72 megapixels, which is pretty impressive. So that leads me to one of the last things is, would I recommend this and who would I recommend this to? I will say that I had my eye on this camera for quite a while because it's so unique. And there isn't another tool that I have that can do what this does. With that said, this is the 4th or 5th camera that I have. So was I able to produce content before I had this? Obviously, but do I enjoy having this and does it add to my videos? I think so. Whether it's, you know, to add more of a storytelling layer or just for the ease of not having to put your camera down and then walk away from it and then go back to pick it up, that in and of itself is such a time saver because you can just film yourself and you don't have to worry about anything else. You're gonna get all the shots, you're gonna get all the angles because it's capturing everything. So for all those reasons, I absolutely love this. Do I think this is the first camera that somebody might want to go grab if they're just starting on YouTube? I personally don't think so, because while you can do a lot and it's very versatile, I personally think that it would make more sense to continue starting a YouTube journey with just even using your phone or using whatever camera that you currently have and building on that. And then eventually, if you're in a place where you want to expand your toolkit, this makes a lot of sense because it's something that is very unique. You'll be able to expand the type of shots that you can get, the types of angles, and it is very, very fun to add on to it. With that all said, let me know what you guys think. Is this a camera that you have or would you consider getting it for yourself? I hope this was helpful if you're considering it, and you know, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you so much for watching this. Make sure to like this video if you haven't yet and to check out other videos from me on the screen, and I'll see you guys next time.